blacked out, you know, like like the CKY1 and CKY2K. I mean, that shit was funny and you weren't drunk.
It's because I was in school and all I wanted to do was get out and go film something funny.
I wouldn't say that the alcohol has anything to do with why you're funny, what's funny. In fact, it probably hinders a lot of the funny. I'm sure it makes some of it, but it probably takes away a lot of it.
Well, it's what I told the doctors was, you know, like, I'm either really super happy, like big time, or I'm like majorly depressed. And I know why. Is because, you know, if we're filming an episode, that's 10 days of filming. And it's 10 days of being completely busy, filming nonstop, and I'm paying attention of the whole episode making sense, and I'm paying, and I like doing that, and I like making sure that it's going to be funny. And then as soon as it ends, you know, everybody goes on hiatus, and I'm at my house alone, bored to tears.
Oh yeah, it sucks being bored.
Yeah, so the only option is going to fucking Jitters or my bar and sipping on a fucking beer for 10 days straight, waiting to film another episode.
I don't know if it's the only option. I mean,
it's not the only option, but like that's the easiest option.
Well, you could go work more. You could, you know, create more projects for yourself to stay busy, and, you know, kind of swamp yourself under with work so you don't even have time to drink or be drunk. You know what I mean? Like, you used to be, I think you used to be far more busy and have a lot more things set up when you weren't drinking so much.
Because my family lived across the street from a shit factory, and I was broke as a joke, and if I needed a new pair of shoes because there was a big hole at the bottom of it, I couldn't get a new pair. So I was like completely motivated to do stuff.
So you feel like once you earned a certain amount of money doing what you wanted, you've lost the motivation.
Dude, it's true. Like, money ruins a lot of shit. It ruins friendships. It ruins motivation. It ruins a lot of things. Like, it really does. Because if you have loads of money, then why the fuck are you gonna go kickflip some gap that you know, if it takes you 10 tries, it's gonna be like a painful 9 tries, and then once you land it, it's pretty rewarding. But like, if you have over $1 million, why bother?
Well, you got yourself out of the misery of being broke, but the misery of living around other human beings and living in America or whatnot, you know, there's still got to be other things to motivate you to keep busy and positive. I mean, the only motivation can't be just to get drunk, because that's a motivation to get away from things as well, you know. It's just... Well,
honestly, when I stay like 7 to 10 days sober and I have a radio show once a week, for those 7 days, I'll usually be skateboarding or something like that, and there's nothing really to talk about. Like, who gives a fuck if I did a Smith grind to 180 out? Like, nobody knows what that is, and nobody cares. Like, nobody.
Maybe your immediate friends who hang out don't.
Well, I mean, it's cool if I get it on film, but like, nobody wants to hear it on the radio. They want to hear about a fucking story of being a shit show.
I think more people would probably rather hear about a success story of you know, you coming back from where you thought was a bad, dark place and finding a positive out of that. And, you know, you're inspirational to a lot of kids, and I think anybody would probably rather see the positive side of it than the shit show or the blacking out, you know. It's not something that, like, when you black out, that's not much of a inspiration to anybody. Anybody can go and drink a whole lot and black out. You don't need any talent for that. But to do your 180 Smith grinds,
yeah,
that takes some effort.
Well, I was in a group with about 20 people, and everybody said, what person do you want to pick to talk about their problems and topics and all that stuff? Everybody points at me because they knew I was the dude from Jackass and they wanted to hear my problems.
But dude, your life, you know,
so they asked
doesn't
me,
seem easy and doesn't seem like you could relate to them guys.
Yeah, well, they asked me what my worst experience was, and I tell them, I'm like worst experience of being on drugs or alcohol or whatever. So I say, okay.
You write this down?
Yeah, I'm like, well, in 03, I'm like,
You reading something?
Yeah, I wrote it down. I said, today we have a small group meeting and we have to share our worst moment with the abuse of drugs and or alcohol. Hands down, my worst moment was in Copenhagen, Denmark when I was 24. We were on the Steve-O tour and we just finished a show with Ryan Dunn, Wee Man, Preston, Pontius, and Dunlap. We were in the hotel lobby bar drinking like a thirsty Campbell stranded in the fucking Gobi Desert. Then Steve-O shows up with cocaine. I do it. Even after 30 milligrams of Adderall. We are already bonkers and Dunlap shows up with weed that he's been bragging about how good it is. Now, I don't even like weed, but the fact that he wouldn't shut up about how good it was made me Steve-O's girlfriend Candy decide to have a weed eating competition. It turns out I win.
Weed eating?
Yeah, eating about $100 worth, and 20 minutes later I'm hysterically laughing for no reason. Then it gets worse. Now I'm realizing that half of it is probably hasn't even kicked in yet. Now I'm completely scared and my head is spinning and I'm starting to hallucinate. Dunn puts me in my room and shuts the door with the lights out. All I can see is the red blinking clock. It gets worse. I can't see and I feel a serious heart attack coming on. I can't move. Suddenly, my life flashes before my eyes like a timeline in photographs from when I was 1 till 24 in a matter of seconds. Like being 2 years old, seeing snow for the first time, seeing what a big wheel is, playing with Matchbox cars with my brother and Hannah, getting my first cat Buffy, my second cat Kiki, getting my first skateboard, situations in school, good times with friends. It all flashes before your eyes in a matter of seconds. Your entire life you see in seconds. Then I begin to have an out-of-body experience and I'm floating up looking at myself dying. It actually felt relaxing, but I thought I'm not dying in Copenhagen at the age of 24. It took all my energy to come back to my body and crawl into the bathroom in the pitch dark looking for the sink. I find it, I turn on the water and I drink it for 1 hour or more. I actually fell asleep on the sink drinking water. I woke up 24 hours later in the bathroom and I had no fucking clue where I was or what city I was in. I just felt completely tweaked. I walked outside and everything had a yellow tint to it, and when a gust of wind came, I felt it was all over my body like if you took 5 hits of ecstasy. I thought I was going to stay like that forever. I didn't drink for the rest of the Europe tour. Fucking scary. People say you were probably just high, and my answer is yes. I was so high that I had a choice to live or die, and that's a fucking fact.
Wow. Well, sounds like you remembered a whole lot.
I did. I remember everything.
Well, sitting in rehab, don't you feel like you kind of relived that night and it wasn't so fun again? I mean, just thinking about that, it sounds like you once again went through your whole life.
I mean, rehab was completely fucking boring as hell, but like the only thing that I'm thankful for is the fact that I have a half a book written, because there's like 200 pages in this thing that I bought, and there's 100 pages completely filled with words.
Well, you wrote that because maybe you were too busy being sober and not drinking.
Either that or just complete boredom.
Or if you're at
or both.
If you're at a show at the Note and drinking away, you're not going to write anything.
And you know what? I have thoughts in my head that I can write at least 4 pages about, and now that I'm out of rehab and I'm here with you, like, you're occupying my time and I'm having fun hanging out with you, that I'm probably not going to write it tonight.
Well, let's turn this radio show off and get back to writing your book then. I mean, you got a lot of...
Well, that's bullshit. People want to hear what I have to say.
That's true. And what you have to say can also be written down, dude. I mean, all I'm saying is, look, it seems like you got a lot done when you weren't busy drinking. And there's proof right in your hands right there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, be proud of that. That's one step already, is to realize that you can do things without drinking.
Let me read one more and then we'll play a song. Yep. War Stories, Europe, 06. We're filming a Viva La Bam episode and we have some downtime at the hotel